So, last month, my friends and I decided to start a book club. It seemed like a great idea, a way to expand our horizons and maybe even impress each other with our deep, intellectual insights. We each took turns picking a book, and when it was my friend Dave's turn, he showed up with a book titled Cluck Your Way to Success, a self-help guide for chickens. We all thought it was a joke, but Dave was serious. Apparently, he found it in the clearance bin at the local bookstore and thought it would be a fun read. We all laughed it off and agreed to humor him, thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Well, turns out, the worst was yet to come. My neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, owns a small flock of hens, and somehow, word got out to them about our choice of literature. One by one, they started sneaking into our book club meetings, clucking excitedly as we discussed the chapters. Before long, the hens were completely engrossed, pecking at the pages and even squawking in agreement at some of the more motivational passages. We couldn't believe our eyes. What was supposed to be a silly diversion had somehow turned into a poultry empowerment seminar. Things escalated quickly from there. The hens began organizing themselves, marching around the neighborhood with little signs that read "Equal pay for equal labor" and "Hen power." They even managed to draft a list of demands, which included shorter workdays, organic feed, and a minimum of 2 dust baths a week. Mrs. Henderson was at her wits' end, trying to negotiate with them, while the rest of us were left wondering how a simple book club had led to a full-blown chicken uprising. The local news even picked up the story, dubbing it the Great Expectations Movement. In the end, with tensions running high and feathers literally flying, Mrs. Henderson and the hens struck a deal. She agreed to their demands, and in return, they promised to keep the noise down during early mornings. As for us, we decided to stick to fiction from now on. But the real kicker? Turns out, the book's author was none other than a former rooster named Foghorn Leghorn, who had supposedly retired to live out his days as a motivational speaker. And let me tell you, that bird sure knew how to ruffle some feathers.